Hi everyone, I'm Ken from CryptoTradingKS. If you're new, welcome, and welcome back KS family. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin currently up 1.98% to 47,285. Well done, Bitcoin. It's nice to see the green market. Ethereum up 1.53% to 37.44. From my 30 plus years in financial markets, I explain the smart money mindset to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love, gaining real wealth in the process. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, please subscribe to YouTube. Rule 774, master yourself to master the market. As a community, we focus on real wealth and maintaining a positive excellence life trend. Inner and outer peace are so incredibly important to create meaning in this world. Coming from a position of kindness, integrity, and decency, life automatically gets better. Money is fantastic and of course is critically important, but without the components of real wealth, money doesn't create meaning. In fact, money without meaning is another form of poverty. If you're currently going through a life pullback, please know that our love and healing thoughts are with you. You're not alone. The sun will come out again, and there's always hope. Because financial markets are inherently uncertain and unstable, and crypto especially triply, quadruply so, it's important to fight the feelings of self-sabotage and self-doubt. You can do so by knowing how worthy you are. You're worthy because you're incredibly unique. No one on this planet will ever or has ever existed like you. Therefore, you automatically deserve kindness, love, meaning, and every success in life. It may take time for your uniqueness to shine through, but it's there, and the world needs it. Being authentic is really important, but more so is being kind and caring. Kindness and care are very foundational aspects to society. Without them, society actually couldn't exist. One way to show a little bit more kindness is just to appreciating the people around you, appreciating your children or your parents or your friends or your loved ones is a very, very beautiful thing to do. It creates real wealth and greater connection. Rule 138, all investors become traders anytime they buy or sell. People are drawn in to the crypto market because they see such high percentage gains, but unfortunately there's a downside to it. Large negative gains also occur, and they occur regularly. There's a lot of fear and a lot of greed in the crypto market. The fear and greed index is currently showing 21, which is extreme fear. As a professional investor and professional trader, you want to buy extreme fear. These are the most profitable times to get into the market. When we see the market going through extreme fear, it's absolutely the best dollar cost averaging strategy, but literally only professionals can do it. When people are new to a market, they sell extreme fear and they buy extreme greed. The problem is that locks them into bottoms and tops in the wrong way. Many people want to feel certain. They want to feel the price is going up before they get involved. One problem with that is rule 112, markets profit in uncertainty. If we look at the KS model, which is a crypto technical trading model based on institutional price psychology, we can see this red line. This is almost like the absolute ultimate level of extreme fear. That's what it represents. The green line represents the ultimate level of extreme greed. Now, what do we see going back to past market cycles, bull runs in the past market cycle? When price gets above that particular green line, we get an exponential blow off top, as we've seen several times. We're expecting the same this cycle. We're actually going to see it occurring around May 2022 by estimates. It's very difficult for new people to understand that crypto is an exponential market. It can come up like literally a rocket. When you see melting faces and rockets, That's actually describing exponential price increases. A lot of people would say, Ken, it can't possibly go from here to up there. It does it all the time. This is crypto. This is exactly what happens. We get these exponential blow-off tops. Why would that be the case? Isn't Bitcoin and crypto just some sort of Ponzi scheme or something? No, Bitcoin represents, and all the alts, they represent the ownership layer of Web 3.0. Web 3.0 is the internet of money. Many people in the past used to think that the internet was just a passing fad. Millions gave up on it. Ugh. It's exactly the same with crypto. There's so much interest in crypto, and that's with people just starting to understand what it is. So few people actually get crypto. You might like to do a little thought experiment. What if you turned off the internet for a day? Could you watch Netflix? No. Could you use Google Maps? All internet? No. It's just become so pervasive in our society. Yet back in 1993, when I started an internet service provider, actually housing all the modems that people used to dial up the internet and access it, no one could have seen where it was going. It was just unbelievable. Having that experience with the internet gave me a very unique perspective when it comes to crypto. Crypto is just the internet on steroids. Be aware that this is going to create so much change across the planet. The planet will be literally unrecognizable in 10, 20, 30 years' time. And investment in crypto is the single best thing anybody can do, and the institutions know it. But always keep in mind Rule 130. Crypto is so incredibly volatile. We need to make volatility our best friend. What does that basically mean? It means when price shoots down, we need to be buying. We need to be buying extreme fear in the market. For example, in the 2016 bull run, that's the previous cycle's bull run, we had 20, 30, 40, even 50% drawdowns in price. This is what crypto does. It's great when price goes up, and everybody can handle that. That's not a problem, of course, unless you're shorting. But if it comes down, that is really the time when people get tested. What I focus on is helping you to get the smart money mindset of how smart money seeks to drive the price down. It does so for very, very definite mathematical reasons. Rule 4 can be a lifesaver. Understanding the price moves in waves will actually save more of your portfolio than anything else will. This is a particularly powerful and vital rule to understand. For example, when we look at Bitcoin at the moment, Bitcoin is currently trading at 47,385. It's just trying to test the I don't know where I'm going zone, this gray zone around 49,305. What we can see is price always moving in a wave. We've noted that this very strong support line coming down here has an abundance of buyers underneath it. Because there is an abundance of buyers, the sellers are saying, well, I want a better price. If you want to buy, I want a better price. And what we can see is price starting to very, very slowly get above this resistance. We have a confluence of support lines here. This is really, really good for crypto. One thing that you will find in crypto, you'll see so many negative news headlines about wars and about viruses and about everything, and you will expect the chart to go a certain way, and the chart will say, I'm going the other way. And it's really something that you need to keep your eye on. That's why we say just trade the chart that we view. It's at the points of uncertainty that the maximum profits are made, and buying when price is suppressed is the best thing we can possibly do. That's why we keep our eye on the extreme fear meter. There's a pretty epic battle going on between the bears trying to push the price down and the bulls trying to push the price up. We're going to see some potential fireworks around the 45,881 level. It could be the case that price just starts to go up, or starts to go down. Crypto is its own animal, and psychologically you must prepare for three possible outcomes. That's why I've done KS three color analysis. For example, let me just move this across a little bit. For example, if it goes into this red zone, comes down to 41,933, what will you do? If it goes straight up to this 55,590, what will you do? And if it goes horizontal across this 49,305 range or 45,881 range, what would you do? Having these in advance probabilistic choices made ahead of time is going to save you from so many sleepless nights. Remember, crypto is incredibly volatile, and you want to make that volatility your best friend. Just keep this little guy in your mind. If price goes up into the green area, what will you do? If price sinks into the red area, what will you do? If price goes horizontal into the gray area, what will you do? If you have these three strategies playing out in your mind at any time, and you know what you will do, you will be absolutely more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love, because you're thinking with a smart money professional mindset. This is how professionals think. They do not think in just one direction. Professionals in the crypto market also understand Rule 45. No alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. But what does this mean? It means literally as Bitcoin comes up, the rest of the crypto market comes up. And you can see not all of the crypto market will come up, absolutely, but the vast majority of the crypto market will come up. And you can also see there's a gearing relationship. Some things come up more than Bitcoin, some things come up less than Bitcoin. It's really important to keep this dynamic in your mind, but always keep your eye on Bitcoin. That's exactly why I do this three color analysis for you. Before I put this out, it was really difficult for people to understand, where is the price going? Is it going up? Is it going sideways? When do I know it's going down? This kind of analysis is really, really helpful to people, and I love helping out our community. Let's have a look at the first 8 cryptos. We can see Bitcoin's gravity perfectly aligning with Bitcoin. Surprise, surprise. That's what Bitcoin's gravity does. We can see here that Bitcoin passed resistance, made a bit of a mountain here, came back and is testing support down here and has done a technical bounce. This is really good stuff. What are we going to see in all the other cryptos? We're going to see a bounce, because that's what Bitcoin's gravity actually does. We can see there's been a bounce in Ethereum, also a bounce in Binance Coin, Solana, Cardano, XRP. They're all bouncing. Look at the strength in Luna. Luna is showing an enormous amount of strength. We can see a bounce also in DOT. This is why we must look at the directional movement of Bitcoin. If Bitcoin is coming down like this with Binance Coin will be coming down in all probability. It doesn't mean 100% probability. It's probably about 99% probability. Looking at the next 8, we can see Doge is just starting to get above this resistance on a consolidation of support. This is looking quite good. There's a lot of consolidation through that particular area. When price comes down hard over some protracted period of time, it's quite common for it to try and base out. That's what we're seeing here in Doge. And remember, crypto is exponential by nature. It's not linear. It can basically come down and shoot up. This is why the volatility of crypto just perplexes so many people. But as crypto technical analysts, we understand exactly the dynamics of the market. We can see AVAX hit that 99.85 and just has bounced up. It's looking good. There's a lot of technical power in this particular chart. We can see also SHIB doing a similar thing to Doge and doing it with more power actually. Matic, we can see Matic is at the early stages of taking off. When we look at something like AVAX, AVAX has been making its way up. It's a really good crypto. And we can see Matic here is making its way up, but under more power. We always want to go with power in the crypto market, especially positive power. When we have a look at Litecoin is still under resistance but consolidating. Uni under resistance. We can see Algo starting to come up, but there's a lot of resistance around this 190 level. Just be aware of that. If you're getting into Algo, you might want to put your support level buys down in layers. We can always get these long tail rejections like you do for the upside. We can get those for the downside as well. They are extremely profitable and they're what we dream of. Let's have a look at Chainlink, still under resistance too. Let's have a look at the next date. We can see Bitcoin Cash heavily under resistance, Tron heavily under resistance, Mana, Decentraland looking quite good, just bubbling along that support line. That's very nice. Axie is a little bit below its once support line turned to resistance. We'll just keep our eye on Axie. Stellar under resistance. Vet still under resistance. This is the exponential nature of crypto that I want to explain. Cosmos, Atom, you can see Cosmos literally went from about 25 up to 36 and did so really quickly. This is what crypto does. It's explosive and implosive by nature. When people understand these exponential components, they can get ready for the volatility. But it's actually not about getting ready for it. It's about harnessing it and making volatility your best friend. FTT or FTX token is just consolidating under resistance. Let's have a look at the next date. We can see EGLD just consolidating at the moment. It's starting to actually bypass resistance. Masterclass students, you can see that with EC charting, the EC method. What we can see in ICP is it's under resistance. We don't touch these things. If they're under heavy resistance, what you will find is that they can just keep on coming down and they can obliterate your particular portfolio. Be careful. One thing that you want to get behind is power, but the best way of actually getting behind power is at the early stages. That is the critical thing to do. And it's not often easy. That's why we need to look at so many cryptos to see what is coming up. What can we see here with SAN? We can see basically SAN hit a resistance level, was pushed back literally to a support level and is starting to come up. And we can see how Bitcoin's fingerprint is impacting SAN's behavior. If Bitcoin recovers, and that is the probability that it will, if it recovers, we would expect SAN to keep on taking off. And we know the metaverse has very good fundamentals behind it. What the metaverse basically is people moving into digital realms. If you think about Web 1.0 and 2.0, Web 2.0 is where we're at now. Web 2.0 is all about communications, social media, all of those sort of things. When you think about the metaverse, we could actually meet people in intangible space in the internet and have worldly experiences in the internet, but through VR and actually tactile sensoring. Unbelievable stuff. Where things will go is like science fiction. We can see File under resistance. You can make money from these cryptos, but the weighting is against you. Yes, it could come up from 35 to 46. Absolutely. That is possible. But would that be worth it? You'd probably more like to get into something that goes from, for example, 25 to 36 and it's heading up, has some kind of positive momentum behind it. These ones are much safer charts. We can see H-bar is just starting to turn around. It bypassed this resistance line. We can see with the EC method that it's coming up. There is support here. It's starting to overcome resistance. When you draw a lot of lines on your charts, and this is for the masterclass students, but of course for everyone, when you do so, you're actually training your eye to see all the eventualities of any crypto's price behavior or its personality. It's really good. It's like the film Next with Nicolas Cage. That was really very cool film. Have a look at Theta Token. Theta Token is just coming back to test that support line. Go Theta. Ethereum Classic is under resistance. Just remember, Ethereum Classic and Bitcoin Cash were really big once upon a time. What happens is typically everything has its light, everything has its time in the spotlight. Just be aware that things can move around. Once great investments, once great projects can start to lose a bit of luster as new projects overtake them. Having a look at NEAR, it's certainly gone far from its $8 up to $15. It's done really well, but it's having problems getting above this. We know that NEAR is very spiky, very volatile. We're always looking for layering in, buying in layers at support. That is the single best way to get into volatile cryptos. A lot of people say, Ken, I don't want to miss out. If I miss out, this thing could shoot to the moon. Always keep in your mind, price moves in waves, and we always get these long tail rejections up and down. It will go up the elevator and down the stairs all the time. This is really common in crypto. It's very unlikely that anyone will miss out if they have the professional mindset and the right way of approaching the market. We're going to have a look at some community favorites. Just always remember Rule 444. Ignore tips, advice, and marketing. I don't endorse any of these particular projects, but I think they've all got merit in their own way. Let's have a look through. Veracity is still under resistance. Notice how Veracity is in alignment with Bitcoin's gravity. This is really important to understand. As Bitcoin actually improves, as it repairs, technically, it's going to do really well. VRA will do well because it's in alignment. We can also see Icon is in alignment. This is a really interesting thing to note. We said that there would be potential resistance around the 174.1 mark. And you can see that when something actually goes up, let me just zoom in there for you. Okay, I'm really zooming in there for you. Let's have a look at something like this. For example, if we were interested in understanding what sort of price momentum we had here, we had about 73% from just this particular one on the 21st of December up to around the 28th of December. That was 73%. That was a really good move. Now, what we always understand is that every single crypto is volatile. It's just built into the DNA, into the personalities of these cryptos. What we actually saw was something a little bit, well, it's pretty normal stuff actually. Crypto, this particular one, ICX, came down 40% in 3 days and 16 hours from that peak up there. This is something you always want to bear in mind. So many people say, I'm afraid I'm going to miss out. For example, they would see something like this. Price would be playing out, everything would be going up, and they would be saying, oh no, I've missed out, I need to get in no matter what. But we have a lot of resistance around this area, and that is a potential sell area. So we have a lot of support through here. It's just, we don't want to necessarily time bottoms, but we can see we actually grabbed that one up, which was quite nice. I hope that helps people. This is a real reason why professionals, they have a lot of patience. They can see something coming up, but they're more interested in managing their downside risk in a thing called loss avoidance. It's really important to make sure that your losses are kept small whenever possible. You do that through patience. Okay, I'll just zoom out there. So you've seen inside this mechanic. This is happening within crypto all the time. Please keep that in mind. Next time influencers say it's going to the moon, it's never going to come down, of course listen to them and look to layer your buy orders in. That will make you more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love. Another way of looking at it, potentially, is that if you put, for example, $10,000 in here when it was just spiking up, if you were unlucky enough to hit the actual top, that would actually lose $4,000 on the way down. Now, Icon is a good project, and this kind of volatility is just normal inside crypto. I want to show you actually what would happen if you bought at this bottom, and I know we can't buy at the bottoms, but I just want to do a thought experiment with you. Very much like, how about we turn off the internet for a day? Here we go. So basically, if you manage to buy on that 40% down and it just recovered that high price, it would go up by 66.59%. This is the power of buying low, buying when there is extreme fear. That's why every single professional does it. They buy extreme fear. This is the mathematical reason I was telling you before. What we have is a 10-5-10 volatility fund. I'll just explain that a bit more. I created KS Zone Analysis to help people understand the 4 stages that every single investor and trader progresses through to become professional. When you look at Zone 1 and Zone 2, the panic zone and the blame zone are all focused around certainty. People must be correct. So in Zone 1, people FOMO in or FUD out. So fear, uncertainty, and doubt causes people to sell. Fear of missing out causes people to buy. What we're actually seeing in here is that people panic either in or out of positions. Then when things don't go the way that they expect them to go, for example, they buy when it's high and it comes down. They seek to blame. They get into conflict, not understanding that certainty is a fantasy. In crypto, it's all about probability. It's all about probability in every financial market, but it's especially true in terms of crypto. Getting out of Zone 1 and Zone 2 is the focus of our community. Getting into Zones 3 and Zones 4 are what we live for. Zone 3 is probabilistic fearlessness. That is, that we trade the chart in front of us. We pay very little attention to the news. We look at the chart and we dissect it and we say, chart, what are you telling me? Where are you going? We're almost like chart psychologists. We actually put the chart on a couch and say, chart, tell me about your history. If we have any artists in the community, and I know we do, maybe you might like to do some crypto art on that. I'd love to put it on the channel. Okay, let's have a look. Probabilistic fearlessness is literally about forgetting about panic, forgetting about blame, understanding certainty doesn't exist, and it's all about probability. So with ICX before, we could expect from a probability stance, we would get a long tail rejection. We would get price coming down the steps. We understand that because we have rules, and because we have patience, we can actually buy into ICX for this example, which is a good project. So if you think about that, having that understanding, but to do that, you need a 10-5-10 volatility fund. What is that about? If something starts at 10, it goes down to 5. If I give you $10 and you lose $5, you've lost 50% of what you had. But if you have $5 and you find another $5, your money goes up 100%. That's exactly what it's like. That's the 10-5-10 fund. We use the institutional smart money mindset to understand it doesn't have to go down 50%, but it often does in crypto. But the concept is we're buying at layers down, 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 and we're not trying to pick the bottom. We are not stingy people. We do not need to get the last cent out of every trade. That is the hallmark of retail thinking. Institutional thinking, an institution of one, professional mindset is very generous. We don't care. If we get close, that is good enough. What we also see in Zone 1 and Zone 2, people suffer the light switch effect. They're all in or all out. In Zones 3 and 4, it's very different. We use a dimmer, not a light switch. We just gradually scale in with patience, and that patience can take some time. This is really important to understand. Patience is key to being in Zone 3 and Zone 4. In Zone 4, the patience is applied to other people. It's applied through understanding and kindness. If there's conflict in the world or you're experiencing conflict, you first use patience to understand what is going on. In zone 3, if the chart is not going your way, you don't get into conflict with the chart. You just say, chart, what are you telling me? What can I understand about your behavior? Okay, getting back to the analysis. Hopefully the 10-5-10 fund understands, or at least uncovers the concept that having money around on the sidelines to put down at ridiculously or offensively low buy levels, for example, expecting a 50, 40, 30, 20% drop is really, really good, and you just layer in. Very good, because you understand that when it comes down from 10 to 5 and it goes back from 5 to 10, yeah, it may have dropped 50%, but it came back 100. That's what you want, and that's why you want to layer down low if you can. CRV is looking really interesting. What do we see here? Very good structure. We can see a couple of key supports at 4921, 4164, 3524, and 2837. And you may say, Ken, why have you gone down so low? Look at the price. It's about to break out to all-time new highs. Professionals are very patient. We just look at the chart and say, wow, this is a nice looking chart. Nice chart. And we can say also that when we view, hang on, I'll just zoom in here for you. Okay, let's have a look at CRV. When you can see this particular behavior, you can see overcoming a level of resistance, overcoming another level of resistance. It's looking really good. Upward support. What happens then? Oh, baby, it's going for it. And what do we do? For example, if we're here, we just set our offensively low buy orders, buy at limit orders. And what happens? Oh, still going up. Oops, hang on. Came down. Ooh, just missed this one. And what is it doing? Coming up, going down. Ooh, whoa, that really went down. Can you imagine that from back here, when you saw such a nice technical structure, that it could have come down to here? Very few people would even have that on their radar. But that's what we do as professionals. We look at it and say, it's what we live for. We want those long tail rejections. And of course, as it comes up and down, what are we doing? We're saying, yep, let's just buy at support. Does it mean you might have to wait? Absolutely. You may definitely have to wait. Does it mean sometimes the low level of support gets so far away from price that is invalidated? Absolutely. And you can just take that one up and push it higher. There's a lot of things that you can do. I covered these particular aspects in the trigger section of the masterclass. So hopefully when you look at CRV, you can see it with potentially different eyes. You can look at it and say, yep, okay, I can understand that this could have a lot of power. Could it get away from you? Yep, absolutely. This is always on the cards. And sometimes people want to take just a position. Potentially look at it this way. If you had X dollars that you wanted to put into CRV, you could put, for example, a percentage that you are happy with at around the current price. Never, ever, ever buy at market. You always want to buy at a limit order somewhere. It's part of the process to learn and exercise discipline and patience. Discipline, patience, and commitment are the hallmarks of every successful person. To actually have that in trading is critically important, and we discussed that in the real wealth section. And we also want to make volatility our best friend. We can see that we're getting long tail rejections throughout the particular personality of this crypto. So we're just patient. Having patience is really, really important. Never fear about missing out. Let's have a look at IOTA. IOTA is still looking strong. It's very much around its support line, and it's just seeking to break through this overhead resistance. Technically, it looks quite nice. Stacks is also looking good, just wavering above that support line, but you can see a lot of power in Stacks at the moment. RLC under resistance, just at present. Audio, not looking too badly, and it's just consolidating over this support line. It's bypassed a level of steep resistance. It's probably making a higher low. This is a low, this is a low, this low is higher than that low, so that one is a higher low. And we can see Cartesi, very spiky by nature, almost like CRV, and Cartesi just can explode and implode very, very quickly. So if you're in Cartesi doing spike trading, it can be really, really profitable. I'd just like to thank all the very kind and generous community members who've reached out and bought me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/CryptoTradingKS. As always, each month I do a new special coffee club video to just say thank you to the very many supporters who have been so kind in reaching out and showing their appreciation. That's just my way of saying thank you. I will have a new video out within the next 5 days. To access those videos, you just go to the post section and you will see the different links in there, and you can just pop in and view them. And it's just my way of saying thank you very much to. Part of Zone 3 and Zone 4 behavior is gratitude. Gratitude is incredibly important. When we feel gratitude about being in the best market in the world, that is really great. It opens up so many opportunities and opens up so many ways of looking at life and at crypto. And if we think about gratitude in our daily lives, there's always something to be grateful for. I particularly would love us to talk about this as an extended family, the KS family, in the comments section. It's really nice to talk about these kind of things, showing gratitude for our loved ones, showing gratitude for our work, showing gratitude for anything, just the sun shining, or the rain coming down, or the snow outside, or if it's hot. There's always ways that we can show gratitude, and that directly moves people into Zone 4. I would love it if people, just our community, could just put in the comments section maybe 1 or 2 things that they're grateful for today. That would be just lovely. I hope you found the content useful. Please consider sharing and liking this video if you think it will help others. Thank you very much to our moderators for keeping our community safe from scammers. Please say hi and let me know if you have any questions. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, please subscribe to YouTube. I've left helpful links in the description of this video. Please remember, crypto is volatile. Always prepare yourself for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there, my friends. Have a beautiful, beautiful 2022. Take care and see you next time. Bye for now.